Long-term travel is a dream come true for many, many people. It offers you the chance to explore new cultures, try new cuisines, see new places, but even the most intrepid globetrotters can start to suffer from a little bit of homesickness when you're on the road that much. This particular emotional challenge is often underestimated by many people who start off on long journeys, and it can really cast a shadow over your entire experience. In this video, we'll delve into some of the root causes of homesickness, and we'll delve into some strategies to actually combat it and make the most of your time abroad. Okay, first things first. We have to understand that homesickness isn't just missing home. It's a complex mix of emotions tied to familiar surroundings, social interactions and connections, and cultural comforts. Understanding the root of this is the first step towards actually combating it. So there's a couple of things that we should look at first. Some are the psychological aspects. It's the attachment to the familiar, right? For many of us, home represented safety. It represented comfort. And it's where you've built countless memories. It's often where most of your main social connections are, and where you have a real support system of both family and friends. It can really be a place where you have a real sense of belonging. And then there are the cultural and environmental factors. For example, depending on where you're traveling, it could be something as simple as a language barrier. Being able to speak in your native language makes things a lot easier. And struggling to communicate even on simple things can really contribute to a feeling of isolation. Then there are food and dietary changes. If you're traveling in Asia and you're used to a traditionally Western diet, it's going to be wildly different to not have regular eggs in the morning. Then of course there are different customs and traditions. Although that's part of the reason why you're traveling is to experience all that, when you're inundated with new things on a regular basis, it can start to get a little tiring. The good news is we live in a world where being on the other side of a wall is now virtually the same as being on the other side of the world. So we can make sure that we're leveraging technology as much as we can to ensure that we're not feeling quite as isolated as we otherwise may. First and foremost, stay in contact with your friends and family. If you've got an iPhone, you can use FaceTime. If you've got WhatsApp, you can use whatever the video conferencing is. There's Google Meet, there's Zoom. It's not crazy to stay in touch with your friends and family. In fact, it's probably the thing that you should do most of all. Keeping and maintaining that connection will give you a sense of grounding, comfort, and ultimately help you feel that you're not alone. Another thing you can do, don't be afraid to use social media for what it was originally intended for. Keeping in contact and keeping apprised of what's going on in the lives of your family and friends. Even though you're not physically there, there's no reason you have to miss out on all of the developments in someone's life. Follow the people that matter to you and talk to them about the things that are happening. And to the extent you're comfortable with it, share your journey and let them see what's going on with you as well. Honestly, I've met plenty of digital nomads and people who have moved abroad, such as expats, who actually set up a regular communication cadence with them and their families or their friends. Sometimes it's every Thursday evening they're gonna have an hour-long call with one of their friends or with their parents or with their sister or their brother. There's nothing wrong with scheduling time for the people that you love. Something else you can do is really work to create a home away from home. Just because you're on the road doesn't mean that you shouldn't have creature comforts. Personalize your living space. Make it feel like something that you would enjoy. Even bring some knickknacks from home. You can decorate it with pictures of things that provide you comfort. Don't be afraid to bring photos or mementos of loved ones. And in your daily life, establish routines and rituals that make you feel comfortable and remind you of the things that you love most about your home. If you constantly went to the gym when you were at home, find a gym membership and stay healthy. Cook meals that remind you of home. I mean, honestly, you'd probably save a little bit of money doing this too. And if you don't feel like cooking, go find a restaurant that serves food that reminds you of home, but do things that make you feel good. It seems to me like more and more people are spending time doing things like yoga and meditation, really focusing on the things that help them feel centered and positive. Also, when you're abroad, there are often a lot of cultural events that will bring people from your country together. Whether you're hanging out at an embassy event or there's something centered around one of the sports teams that it reminds you of home. Don't be afraid to go to those things and connect with people from your home. Now to me, this is one of the biggest things that you have to do if you really want to make sure that you're actually overcoming your homesickness. And that's to make new connections. Having a solid travel crew can be a game-changing experience for many travelers. For me, on my journey as a digital nomad, I know I would not have made it so long had I not had amazing friends that I both met along the way and that started the journey with me. After a few months of travel, we had a solid crew that was just bouncing around the world. Sometimes someone would be with us for a month, 2 months, and then they'd reconnect with us later. But having that established crew and knowing that you had real people that you could go and hang out with and do things with on a regular basis made all the difference. And at some point, If you spend enough time with them, they start to feel like you're home. One thing is for sure, loneliness can intensify homesickness. So really try to make an effort to connect with the people that you're meeting along your journey. And as you're doing that, don't be afraid to do things that are straightforward, like embracing the local culture. Try to learn the language, make local friends. Get out there and put yourself in a situation where you could actually make real meaningful connections. Go to festivals, go to cultural events, go play sports, join a league. You could go to an art show or do a workshop. There's so many opportunities to meet and make new friends. Don't be afraid to go to things like meetups. There's an entire website dedicated to just bringing people together. Don't be afraid to make use of those. If you're someone with a bit of a philanthropic side, go volunteer. Get out, get active in the local community that you're in. And yes, as with everything, staying healthy and active is going to really help to make you feel as though you're doing well. While you're out having fun, don't neglect your physical and mental health. On the physical side, you need to work out on a regular basis, or on the mental side, you need to talk to someone, a therapist. Whatever it is that makes you feel good is the thing that you should continue doing. And it's also super important to stay motivated about the travel that you're doing. Set travel goals and make itineraries. Get excited about what's upcoming. Anticipating an adventure can really boost your spirits. And don't forget to reflect on your journey that you've had thus far. One really good tool that a lot of people use is to keep a travel journal. Inevitably, as you travel, you're going to have tons and tons of experiences, and you might not remember every single one all the time. So keeping a real-time journal, whether it's a video blog for yourself or you're actually writing things down in a physical journal, keeping that memory and then flicking back and looking through it every now and then is something that is hyper rewarding. And just one of the main conceptual things is to try as much as you can to stay positive and motivated. Homesickness can be challenging, but maintaining a positive mindset is something that will almost always help you to overcome it. Focus on the present moment. You have an opportunity in front of you that many people will only dream about getting. Look, the reality is, at some point, homesickness is something that we all feel during long-term travel. But with some of these strategies, you can overcome it and really savor everything that your experience is offering. As anyone who's done this for a while can tell you, your journey is not just about the places that you'll go. It's also about discovering a bit about yourself and your own resilience. So really try to embrace every moment, connect with others, and let your adventure enrich your life in ways you probably never imagined.